coming out. I know, per your request, we're going to keep this kind of small and on the down low. But obviously, Jeff, thanks for coming in. Such short notice. Jessica McKenzie, thanks for being here as well. And to all, obviously, our Third Wing IG friends and family, thanks for taking the time to be part of this. And I'm glad you're doing this because, frankly, for me, when I pinned all the I was like, man, this is probably the last one for me. Like, it just worked out that it wasn't, but we were planning on it. Remember that? I was like, this is going to be it. We're going to finish up. So, you never know. Might be another one after this, might not be, but it's always important to take the time to celebrate this, not only for your accomplishments, but for a chance to say thanks to the family for supporting you to get you to this far. Again, I'm going to talk some specifics about you here in a minute, but I do want to put this day in perspective. Anybody have an idea of what percentage of officers are actually 05s in the Air Force right now? Anybody? Take a guess? 16%. That's it. Only 16% of our officer corps across the entire force make the rank or currently hold the rank of 05. When you think about the thousands of officers that started in 1998 with you when you came out of OCS, and you think about the progression and those that have retired or gotten out or done other things or hung up their career, when you consider there's only 60% 05s right now, that means the percentage of your peers that actually made it to this point is probably 10% or less at this point. So it's a pretty significant accomplishment when you sit back and you look at your entire service career to actually make it to this point. So you should feel justifiably proud. You and your family should be very, very proud of this day. And so again, just to put that in perspective, because I think sometimes as we stay in, we kind of think that, well, promotion's a foregone conclusion, but it really is not. It is not. And I want to talk about some of the things that got you here to this day. Okay, so a couple of things. So obviously we met each other about almost 2 years ago. And I remember our first conversation. I felt like it's hard to explain, but you can sort of sense when you're in the room with another warrior. And I just feel like right after our first conversation, there was something about him and his personality. I just felt like you were an old warrior soul, and I felt like we immediately connected, and just the more I got to know about you, the more I realized there's a reason for why that connection exists, especially as I look through your record of accomplishment, your time in combat, your time prior as enlisted before commissioning. I mean, all the things that you've done really have defined who you are and really just resonate with me as an individual who's just an outstanding officer and person, and just I'm glad I'm your friend. Thank you for letting me be a part of your ceremony today. So. My wife will tell you, whenever I stand up and I do this, I always like to lead off with a quote. Like my wife jokes, it's the old dead guy quote. And so I always try to find something that's specific to each individual, And I kind of give you a hint of where I'm going with this, but probably one of my most favorite quotes ever in the history of warfare comes from a guy named Heraclitus. He was an old Greek scholar and a warrior, and he had a pretty amazing saying. And actually, if you go to weapons school, it's actually above one of the doors of the weapons school, and it says, out of every 100 men, 10 shouldn't even be there. 80 are just targets, 9 are the real fighters, and we are lucky to have them, for they make the battle. But the one is a warrior, and he will bring the others back. Dirty, you are the one. And I'm going to back that up here by highlighting a couple things about your career that I want everybody to know about before we make it official today. So, obviously, everyone knows about your prior enlisted time, and that record of accomplishment is what got you to be an officer. But it's your performance as an officer that got you here today to be a lieutenant colonel. And I want to highlight some things. So first and foremost, started November 2006 and graduated OTS. My dad was an OCS graduate. He used to jokingly call, in the Army, refer to those guys as Mustangs. So kind of dirty, I feel like it's following the path of the Mustangs that came before him and setting an outstanding path. Student ABM at Tyndall in 07. And then I have to read this because I have so much in here, I couldn't keep it all track. I was taking hand notes and I'm like, I got to type this out because there's so much in your record that you should be proud of, and I just want to highlight it. So, coming out of student ABM in Tyndall, off to Tinker as a flight commander, an air battle manager, air weapons officer, air surveillance officer from 07 to 13. While you were there, I love this, flew in support of multiple missions and exercises. Valiant Shield, one of our favorites here even today, right? Iron Falcon, Summit of the Americas, the G8, G20 summits where you kept POTUS and other world leaders safe. OEF, I wrote this down, there's some really awesome stuff here. Supported 30 troops in contacts, 410 RASs, 4.5 million fuels and transfers supporting the International Stability Assistance Force, Afghanistan. Managed 159 tankers, 7 million pounds of fuel for 1,000 receivers. All of that, ensuring that close air support assets are there to support our troops on the ground and preventing further casualties in that difficult and vicious fight. And I noticed on another report, supported 1,373 aircraft and 72 troops in contact situations. You also, I didn't realize this till I reviewed it. Now somehow I missed this in our conversation, but you also flew in support of Unified Protector. For folks that aren't familiar with that, that was the Operation Libya. And while you were up there flying and doing your part, I was on the ground in UCOM, embedded with AFRICOM, trying to keep that whole thing from falling apart when the French decided to go without us. And you were there taking care of business. That was pretty awesome. I noticed you deployed multiple times to Al Dhafar in the UAE, earned 3 of your medals, enabling 425 enemy killed in action. Of note, there was one in there where it talked about your excellence in the back of the E3 directly contributed to another 100 killed in action, supporting the FOB that had been under siege for basically looked like 8 days. So pretty remarkable stuff there. Total 792 combat hours. Pretty impressive, Dirty. Finished command of the 960th largest flight. 82 people as a captain. That was bigger than my squadron command. As a captain, you were leading more people than I did as lieutenant colonel. It's incredible. Crushed it. And despite all this challenging job, you know, you're in the squadron's ABM of the year for 2012, best of 92 in your peers. Number 1 of 54 flight CGOs, number 1 of 10 of system flight commanders, number 1 of 5 shop CGOs, and again, double in the emergency manager section. So your initial career from lieutenant to captain, just amazing. Crushed it at Tinker, did so well. What do they do to you when you do well? They give you another tough job. And in this case, they sent you to Korea, right? So over to Osan as a group exec, ADO as an air liaison officer for 2 years, 2013 and 2015. Responsible, and I love this, for growing the tactical air control party students for action on the peninsula, as well as integrating closer supporting the Korean theater of operations for over 80,000 joint combat personnel. Obviously, those dividends, you know, are going to pay huge here if it ends up going to blows in North Korea. Always watching that. While I was there, crushed it again. 7th Air Force CGO of the year, 2014, number 1 out of 418. Incredible, man. 607th ASOG Lance P. Saigon Award winner for 2015. Multiple 7th Air Force Headquarters CGO of the quarters. I saw 3rd and 1st quarter 14. Recognized as the Republic of Korea Joint Command Close Air Support SME. You were corned twice by GOs for that excellence. And recognized as the best seen by the Joint Air Component Coordination Element Commander. Also recognized by your sister service, the Army, earned 2 ARCOMs there for supportive exercises that you did there. Again, strats outstanding, clearly top 10% or better. I mean, just crushed it there. And then, from Korea to where we are today, lovely Elmendorf here in the mighty 3rd Wing. First as an instructor air surveillance officer and the OG CAG director, then up to wing exec and evaluator ASO, and finally where you are, as I have in big capitals, the Wing IG. Wing Staff FGO of the Year in 2019 and 2017. I know there were so many here, I abbreviated this. I said, set multiple PACAF benchmarks for our wings programs as the IG. Of course, as the wing exec, everybody understands what that job is. I mean, that is tough, and you're the right-hand man to the commander. My favorite line, though, I have to highlight this, of note. Staff 260 plus OPRs and 64 PRFs. 99% error-free, so we got 1% of improvement there, 99%.
Never 100.
No, but that was outstanding, man. Consistently stratified all 4 years against your peers. Top 7% or better when you look at that stratification breakdown, and consistently outpacing your peers, man. I mean, for perspective, let's put it this way. You're in the top 7% of your year group. Anybody have any idea of what percentage in your year group you have to be to make colonel? 40% or better. So you are on a path that is equivalent with making an 06. So this is just one more step on your journey, and you know, it'll be interesting to see what comes next for you. But you know, I want to highlight all of that because there's a lot that you did for this country and a lot of just outstanding work, and you should feel justifiably proud, as should your family and all of you here today, and the fact that you're going to stand before us and in about 5 seconds here, you're going to put on the rank of 05. It is well deserved. I'm incredibly proud of you. I know the bosses, and I can speak for everybody in this room that just a fantastic job, Dirty, and just incredibly proud of you, man. And thank you. You do me great honor by giving me the privilege of being up here today and just allowing me to say a couple things about you. So thanks for that. Congratulations on an outstanding career up to this point. I know the best is still to come. So you ready to make this official?
I am, sir.
All right, let's do it. Let's publish the order.
Attention order. The President of the United States, acting upon the recommendation of the Secretary of the Air Force, has placed special trust and confidence in the patriotism, integrity, and abilities of Major Michael Larson. In view of these special qualities and his demonstrated potential to serve in the higher grade, Major Larson is promoted to the grade of Lieutenant Colonel, United States Air Force, effective 1 May 2021, by order of the Secretary of the Air Force.
All right, raise your right hand if you got your name. I state your name.
I, Michael Larson,
I've been appointed Lieutenant Colonel
having been appointed Lieutenant Colonel
in the United States Air Force.
in the United States Air Force,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution
the Constitution
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well
and
faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which I'm about to enter. So help me God.
Thanks, sir.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
All right, family, let's get up here. Let's make it official.
Go ahead. You're taking this off now. Jeez.
There you go.
You're both gonna hit me, right? Yeah, tack it on. Hit it. You can punch it. There you go.
All right.
You gonna get a picture real quick?
There you go.
Get on the center.
I've just taken a bunch.
That's awesome.
You can decide what you
That's
want.
good. Thank you so much.
They're not going to be comparison to yours.
Lieutenant Colonel Larson, the floor is yours.
Thank you, sir. It's, man, E1 to 05. What the hell was the military thinking? I'll take it though. I don't know how I'm supposed to follow the kind of words that I paid Colonel Serfass to say about me.
No.
But I appreciate it, sir. All I really have is a bunch of thank yous. Thank you, sir, for doing this, for taking this time. Not only taking the time for this, but also your leadership and mentorship over the last 2 years. Your friendship has meant the world to me. So thank you so much. My brother Jeff, I know the surprise didn't go the way you wanted to, but this means the world to me. This surprise that you did, and to share this moment with my best friend, I appreciate it. So thank you.
I love you.
I love you too. My daughter, thank you for putting up with military life. I mean, I know that it was hard, especially in the early years with the deployments and you not being there, but your brother and sister, every move, every time we had to do anything, you were just so upbeat and made it so much easier on me, so thank you. Actually, if I could brag a little bit, starting as of today, she is actually halfway done with her nursing bachelor's degree, all with a 4.0,
Nice.
all while working 40 hours a week as a certified nursing assistant. So let's put it together. Thank you. To my wife, I could take the next hour talking about the things that I could thank you for, but thank you for just being you. You have exponentially made my life better. And just thank you for being my most favorite person on this earth. I guess lastly, just thank you for my team. Everything you guys do. I know everybody in here knows in the military you're promoted through your records, and I can honestly say, especially since the time I've been in the seat as the IG, every single line in my OPR are your accomplishments, not mine. So really, thank you for this promotion. And thank you for setting this up last minute. I know this wasn't what we planned on doing, being on the boat, all that stuff, but building a neutral room, getting all this together within less than 24 hours. Thank you so much. So, I guess with that being said, let's have some food.
All right,
Thank
man.
you. Thank you, everybody.